Hello everyone, Southeast US Railfan Productions here, and welcome back to Monthly Model Railroad News at a Recap. This is a news series where we talk about what's new from model railroad manufacturers. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Without further ado, let's get started with Caddo USA. First up from Caddo USA, they announced the N-Scale Pioneer Zephyr, of which it'll be available in CBNQ. They did a new release of N-Scale ES44ACs. Their HO scale VO liners are in stock. Their N-Scale SD70Ms are in stock. That's everything from Caddo USA. Let's move on to Rapido Trains. Moving on to Rapido Trains, they announced a new run of HO scale GP40s. They will be available in 3 to 4 road numbers each of the following road names: Conrail, CSX and X Western Maryland, Patch, CSX Y1, Dakota, Minnesota and Eastern, Rio Grande, Large Logo, Guilford, Boston and Maine, and lettering, Guilford, Maine, Central lettering, Kansas City, Southern Bell, Milwaukee Road, Missouri, Kansas, and Texas, X Conrail Patch, New York Central, Seeger Brand, Rock Island, Bankrupt Blue, Rock Island 4710, Wreck Rebuild, Sulon X Milwaukee Road Bandit, Wheeling and Lake Erie, and finally Western Maryland Circus Scheme. They announced a new run of HO scale Greenbrier coil cars. They also announced HO scale NSC 89 off-foot auto rack. They'll be available in both Canadian Pacific and Canadian National. They also announced HO scale Squamish cabooses. Here's a reminder of the latest run of HO scale FL9 and FL9 rebuilt. Another order deadline are their latest run of HO scale P32 ACDMs, and their final order deadline are their HO scale and N scale CTA 2600 L cars, and they did a video on their first tooling samples of their HO scale U30CG. That's everything from Rapido Trains. Let's move on to Jackson Railcar. Moving on to Jackson Railcar, they announced HO scale Trinity 5239 free bay hoppers. They will be available in 12 road numbers of the following road names: Union Pacific low reporting marks, Union Pacific high reporting marks, both white and beige, CMO with shield, and CMO with no shield. It's everything from Jackson Railcar. Let's move on to tangent scale models. Moving on to tangent scale models, they are introducing Norfolk and Western Roanoke Shocks HC71 4750 covered hopper. Their HO scale NACC 1963 design gallon dual diameter LPGA tanker cars are going to be in stock. Their HO scale Illinois Central quad hoppers are in stock. That's everything from tangent scale models. Let's move on to Class 1 Model Works. Moving on to Class 1 Model Works, their HO scale GP40s are available on pre-order. Their HO scale spine cars are also available on pre-order. Their HO scale PS 3000 CD 2-bay hoppers are available on pre-order. Introducing the HO scale F39A flat car 75. It's everything from Class 1 Model Works. Let's move on to Bachmann. Moving on to Bachmann, their old 9 bobber cabooses are in stock. Their HO scale and N scale. Their HO scale BL2s are in stock. And finally, their 2026 catalog is still in stock. That's everything from Bachmann. Let's move on to Lionel. Moving on to Lionel, they're doing O-gauge Vision Line Big Boys. 10 road numbers will be available of the following road names: Union Pacific Big Boy 4014-250 Tour Edition, American Freedom Train, Union Pacific 4014 with smoke, 10 lifters, Union Pacific 4004 with coal tender, Union Pacific 4018, Lionel Lines, Lionel Store exclusive Lionel Lines, backup pick version, Christmas and Polar pilot version, and Christmas and Polar Express. That's everything from Lionel. Let's move on to Atlas. Moving on to Atlas, their O-gauge GS44ACs were announced. Their 8 O-scale P42 DCs were announced. Their N-scale GP39s are in stock. Their N-scale VO1000s are in stock and sold out. Their N-scale FA1s are limited in stock. Their HO scale B23-7s are limited in stock. Their HO scale mini box cars are in stock. Their HO scale PS4750 covered hoppers are limited in stock. Their O scale 40-foot rebuilt wall cars are in stock. Their O scale rebuilt 53-foot wall cars are in stock. Their O scale flat car with two 20-foot flat cars are limited in stock. And finally, their O-scale 40-foot tank cars are in stock. That's everything from Atlas. Let's move on to Wolfers. Moving on to Wolfers, their HO scale GP9 chopped noses were announced. 2 road numbers will be available in Burlington Northern, Illinois Central Gulf, Chassis System, Iowa Interstate, Precision National, RJ Corman, and an undecorated model. Their HO scale 36-foot wood chip hoppers were announced with 2 road numbers each of the following road names: Data Only, Canadian National, Baltimore and Ohio, Southern Rally, NFCX, Western Maryland, Northern Pacific, and an undecorated model. Their HO scale Mobile Home 2-pack was announced. Their HO scale self-storage facility was announced. And finally, their HO scale C satellite dishes kit was announced. That's everything from Wolfers. Let's move on to Bowser. Moving on to Bowser, their HO scale Alco C415s were announced. If 2 road numbers will be available of the following road names: Alco Demonstrator, Burlington Northern, Columbia and Cowlitz, both green and blue, Ohio Terminal Port of Tillamook Bay, Railcar, Americo Southern Pacific Port, Spokane, Portland, and Seattle, Belt Railway of Chicago, McLeod Railway, Pennsylvania Railroad, generic yellow, black, generic red and gray, and finally generic black. That's everything from Bowser. Let's move on to Afrin. Moving on to Afrin, their HO scale AC 4400 CWs were announced. 3 road numbers each of the following road names: CSX, Denver and Rio Grande Western, Fairmex, Kansas City Southern, Montana Rail Link, Southern Pacific, TFM, and Union Pacific. Their HO scale GATC 2600 airslide covered hoppers were announced. Their HO scale ICC cabooses were announced. Their HO scale 200-ton crane and 50-foot gondola was announced. HO scale 50-foot Evans double plug door box cars were announced. Their 50-foot FMC 5347 box cars was announced in both HO scale and N scale. Their 50-foot Waffle High Cube Plug Door Boxcars were announced. Their Roundhouse HOF units were announced. And finally, their HO scale streamlined passenger cars were announced. So everything from Afrin, let's move on to scale trains. Moving on to scale trains, there was a throttle up for Father's Day. Their HO scale GP40s were announced. Their HO scale Caledonians SD7s and SD9s are in stock. Their HO scale GP30s are limited in stock. Their water tender sets in both HO scale and N scale are on pre-order. Their N scale Trinity RD4s are limited in N scale. They're doing a national convention from July 27th to August 2nd, 2026 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's everything from scale trains. Let's move on to Broadway Limited Imports. Moving on to Broadway Limited Imports, their feeder car are still on pre-order. Their HO scale FVF Northerns are going to be in stock soon. Their HO scale New Haven R3As are on pre-order. Their HO scale 6,000 gallon chlorine tank cars are still on pre-order. Their HO scale ATSF 484s are still on pre-order. Their HO scale and N scale Conductors Club locomotives are still on pre-order. Their HO scale SD70 ACEs are still on pre-order. 2 road numbers will be available in BNSF, Canadian National Blue and White, EMD Demo Yellow Progress Rail, EMD Demo Blue, Gray and White, Kansas City Southern Hero Scheme, Norfolk Southern Office Car Special, both Atlanta and Birmingham, which I'm excited about, Union Pacific Missouri Pacific Heritage Unit, U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force. Train World exclusives will be available in Dallas Darling, Hiawatha, and Santa Express. Hyacinth exclusive will be available in Denver and Rio Grande Western, and Heist Trains exclusives will be available in Full Speed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in another video.